my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, courage and bravery run in the blood of our next guest and friend of Expresso, Greg Burtish. If you don't already know his story, he is a big wave surfer who picked up a rare tropical bacteria which attacked his aortic heart valve. Although back then his chances of survival or recovery were slim, he went on to survive 2 rounds of open heart surgery and to conquer a lifelong goal of navigating a children's sailboat around Cape Point. Greg's story and unique approach to life are reflected in a new documentary called Optimist.
This is the time I feel I can teach a lesson and show kids and people what can be done through passion and belief.
People actually understand what an optimist is.
Probably some of the most dangerous sea in the world. To take it around Cape Point, you've got to be nuts.
It's about a 30% mortality from infective endocarditis.
He was the epitome of health and wellness.
Like getting struck by lightning twice.
The little optimist is literally, he's not even cruising, he's firing.
You know, like in hospital, you got to reach your goals. You got to set those goals and move forward. You got to keep recovering, keep getting better, keep moving forward.
The little optimist will never give up. Always stay positive.
Then he will prove to everyone that this little boat with a huge heart can do anything he sets his mind to.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. We've got Greg Burtish in the house. Greg, so good to have you on the Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning.
Good morning, great to be here.
Wow, like we said, you are a friend of Expresso, and it's so wonderful to have you here. We know your journey, but do you want to take us through this 8-day journey around Cape Point in that little tiny Optimist, just to contextualize for us, how big was that little boat that you were on, and how big were the waves that you sometimes had to deal with?
The boat's not big, it's tiny. It's literally the size of a bathtub, and that's the cool thing. Yeah, it's literally that size.
Yeah.
You know, it's a children's boat, and it's aimed at children to learn to sail under 15 years old, under 50 kilograms.
Yeah.
But I wanted to change the perception, the perceived reality of what a little person or a little boat could do.
That is insane. It's like a drop in the ocean. That's
Exactly.
what you looked like, a
Exactly.
drop in the ocean. Can you tell us why you decided to embark on something like this?
Look, long story short, you saw the intro. You know, I picked up this tropical bacteria. It was undiagnosed, unculturable. They couldn't find out what it was. And I literally carried this thing around for 7 years, and I was in and out of hospital. I spent 200 days in hospital fighting this bacteria. I've had 2 open heart surgeries, and I had to keep trying to come back and find a passion, which for me is the ocean, and sailing and surfing, and that got me back. And now I try and teach kids and help kids in tough situations in life, whether they're bullied or just marginalized or sick, that they too can, you know, become something, even if they're a little bit short, a little bit slow, green, blue, black, poor, doesn't matter. They can, you know, they follow their dreams, and that's what I'm trying to prove with this little boat.
I love that. Now, in the film, you meet a little boy by the name of Adam. Can you tell us who he is, how you met him, and what he meant to you?
Amazing story, yeah. That he's the child that changed my life, that I lay in that surgery with in 2001.
Yeah.
And he changed my life when I realized how lucky I actually was that I'd got to 30 years old.
Wow.
And I didn't have to go through life like a small kid like that. He was actually having his 2nd heart operation at the age of 6 months old. And he comes back in this documentary and comes back and meets me along the way. And I now work with him, and we inspire kids all around South Africa and hopefully the world with this story that Robert Whitehead has directed and came up with this amazing concept. And this just came to me and said, listen, are you going to film this trip you're going to do around Cape Point, your childhood dream? And I was like, oh, I'm put a GoPro on it. And he says, no. There's a bigger story here.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because we just got funding from Warwick Wealth, and I got involved with the Spirit Foundation and Children's Hospital Trust, all jumped on board, and we raised 300,000 Rand for the new ICU at Red Cross doing this little trip. And then since, the Little Optimist has gone on in the last year, and we raised over 1 million Rand to paint and renew the Red Cross Children's Hospital.
That is powerful. 300,000 Rand. That is awesome. Greg, just to end off with, don't you want to tell us about this concept of, you know, whether you feel small, you can still do big things even though you feel small? Tell us more about that.
Well, you've got to watch the movie Optimist because that's going to show you. But yeah, it's about little kids, little people, marginalized people, even adults who have a childhood dream, who never felt they were good enough. I was a bullied child and an insecure child, so I know I use that as my base where I come from, and now I go out there and I teach and I mentor these kids who are in the same situation, small, short, you know, green, blue, black, poor, and I try and show them that it doesn't matter how small or insignificant you feel, you can, like a little optimist, you can go on, just follow your dreams and never ever give up.
Never ever give up. Well, thank you so much, Greg, for being here and sharing your incredible story with us. Now, Greg's inspiring film Optimist enjoyed its first screening at the Cape Town International Film Festival and shows again this evening at the V&A Waterfront New Metro. Please, please go and check it out.